My name is Kyle Archer. I have made it my mission to challenge the balancing nature of mystery and truth. Words become foundational pieces to the void of sentence fragmentation. Deciphering analytical word rhythm has become survival instinct. This is the new world. This is my destiny. This is enough for conversation.
My bad, I forgot to put the comment in there for Toga. Baby! You know, yeah, sorry, that's my bad.
No, all good.
Yeah.
All good. It might be a little bit less exciting now that we're not talking about Toga babies.
We can talk about Toga babies. Like I said, we can. It wouldn't really fit the theme of the episode entirely, but babies with togas can be talked about.
That's what I was thinking. Like, it's going to be possibly the cutest episode.
I love that. Well, let's begin.
Wonderful.
Welcome to another episode of Enough for Conversation. I'm your host, Kyle Archer. Enough for Conversation is a podcast or a show, whatever you want to call it. We make up different words for media content nowadays. We call them swankle pumps now, I think. So we have a wonderful, extravagant guest joining us today at Enough for Conversation. One of the first men to ever walk the surface of Venus, believe it or not. It's not really posted anywhere, so if you look it up, you might not find it, but it's a true story. Anyways, Josh Jackson, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Before we really dive into it, one of the first questions that I really like to ask every guest is, what is your personal relationship with the word toga?
I kind of almost wore a toga for a Halloween costume one time.
Okay.
Actually.
Okay.
I guess it's a little bit flexible. I was trying to be an angel, and I don't really know if what an angel wears would be considered a toga.
I feel like if you fold the wings kind of in a right way, you could argue it to be kind of a toga, maybe.
Toga-esque.
Yeah.
I could see that. It was a pillowcase that I just cut into strips.
Okay.
And it basically turned into a mini skirt. So
Yeah.
maybe it wasn't a toga.
You know what? You could have told me it was a toga. I would have believed that it was a toga.
I just really wanted to have a personal connection with the toga.
It could be a scandalous toga?
I guess it definitely was.
Okay, okay.
I'll have to show you a picture later.
Okay,
When I tell you that this thing was a mini skirt, my butt cheeks were peeking out of the bottom a little bit.
Good. So that's your only kind of like really relevance? Yeah, that's not the right word. What am I looking for here? Connection to toga.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I would say that me and toga do not have a long history.
No.
But, I'm hoping that this podcast will change that.
I hope so too. I really do. I'm rooting for you. The world out here is rooting for you too. So, away we go. Did you know that togas originally did not derive from Halloween parties?
Really?
Really, yeah, 100%, yeah.
So
it's the one thing
frat boys, they were not the origin of togas.
They were not the origin of togas. I found that out.
What is the origin?
It actually dates back to, believe it or not, ancient Roman times.
Really?
Yeah, all the way back. I think I looked it up. This is true.
Mm-hmm.
It was, I can't remember the exact number. It was 735, 6, 7, 8, or 9 BC.
Wow.
Where they found scripts, like scriptures, paintings, and just basically, a bunch of art pieces that had togas designs. So nobody exactly knows whenever they first originated.
What would you say is the cutoff between a toga and just like a lightly fitting robe?
It's got to be the length, right? Or maybe the material.
I always picture, do togas have to be white?
You know what? That's something I was going to dive into, but let's do it now. So another thing that I learned is not all togas were white.
Okay.
So this was actually super interesting. They have a bunch of different names attached to it that were very like Roman. It was if you were like a higher power, then only at funerals you could wear a black toga. If you were running for basically like an office position or a higher authority position, your robes would be a different, brighter shade of white.
Like a better white.
Some would say the Bentley of togas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like some other like poor sap's got like cream or
Yeah.
like eggshell.
Or
and you're
an
like
offset white, you know.
yeah.
Peasants of Roman times, if you will.
dim with their dingy togas.
Yeah. Another one was if you were an adolescent child, you had kind of purple attached to it. It wasn't like full purple, but there was
Like
like
lilac.
yeah, lilac, maybe lavenderish.
Oh, okay. That's
Or an off-white purple.
if you had to pick a color with no social hierarchy behind it, what are you going for?
I'm going for probably chartreuse.
I don't even know what color that is.
I think it's like it's a cross between puke and lime green.
Puke and lime green.
Yeah. I don't think I'd actually do that. I think
I don't know how
yeah.
deep you want to go down this, but
No, yeah, let's go.
What kind of puke? Because puke can be all across the board.
It can. It's definitely like you can't eat pasta. This is strictly because that's gonna come up more of like a red, chunkier version.
Yeah, absolutely.
No soups, nothing like that.
Yeah, and
this,
that with lime green would just,
yes,
oh.
it'd be awful. That is that's not the
I'm not
chartreuse
wearing
that
that.
I think
I'm not
of.
wearing
no,
that.
I don't like mean to say it like this. It's not your color, Josh.
It's fair enough.
It's not your color.
Is it anybody's?
Is
at
it,
that
it
point?
could be mine in a token. That's what I'm saying. But think of like a cliche like old 2002 video game puke. You know, like Roller Coaster Tycoon. You ever play that?
Okay, like a yellowy green.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
like that, and then throw a dash of lime green in there and just stir the puke pot. Pull it out, dunk a white robe in there, chartreuse robe. That's what I'm rocking.
Gotcha. So
How about you? Yeah.
See, I was thinking more like I want to go like a pastel blue.
Ooh,
You know, something like that, where it's
that's
like
fancy though.
you know, it's like 700 BC. I smell awful, but like from a distance, they're like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
yeah.
that guy looks like clean. And like, he doesn't smell terrible." You know, but I don't know. Chartreuse, you might go the other direction. I'll be
It might.
Ooh.
See, that's the thing. I disagree with
Okay.
that. And the only reason why I disagree with that is because I think at first they're going to be like, oh, that. Then they start to look past the color. They find the personality. They're like, oh, wait, this is a bit. This guy fucks.
Absolutely. I mean, to an extent, I think we're all kind of hiding behind the color of our togas.
Wow.
You know?
I almost cried.
Yeah.
That was beautiful.
I was starting to do a little introspection, and I was like,
Yeah.
wow, like, you do want to come off, you know, like, a little clean.
I always
maybe
wanna come
cleaner
off
than
clean
you
to you.
really are.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And sometimes it's the 700 BC and you smell like shit.
Sometimes it is. But that's the way of the 700 BC unless you were at the top of the food chain, you know?
Yeah.
That's what it was. You just kind of got oiled up and just toed it out. Is that a bad way of living?
That sounds like an ideal weekend.
Yeah, which brings me to my next point. Should we, not specifically you and I, but if that's what it takes, then yes, specifically you and I.
Okay.
Should we bring back the toga?
I'm definitely down.
Yeah,
I mean,
me too. Absolutely.
You barely have to twist my arm to get me into a toga.
Oh no,
I'll
a toga.
fall right into it
Yeah.
all of a sudden.
Oops, I guess I'm wearing a toga for the rest of my life.
Yeah, I mean, they gotta be so comfortable.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's got to be like easy and breezy, you know, above the kneesies,
Yeah.
if you know what I mean.
I mean, going back to like the crossover between a toga and a robe. If those are a Venn diagram, there's got to be a ton of overlap.
Yeah,
You know.
it's got to be. It's like the two circles. Like here's the circle. This is a normal Venn diagram, and then that's a toga Venn diagram.
Oh yeah, they're
Yeah.
basically one circle.
They're interlocked.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And at the intersection, there's just a little arrow that's like comfortable clothes.
yeah. Comfortable
there.
clothes, fashionable,
Breathable.
breathable. Yep, and sexyable.
Yeah, hell yeah, actually.
Yeah,
you know?
very sexyable.
And
Have you ever like seen anybody? Not to cut you off. Have you ever seen anybody in a robe and been disgusted at what they look like?
no, because
No.
either it's like, dude's clearly he fucks, you know, and he's got
That's
like
what
a
I'm
little
saying.
like chest hair poking out,
Yeah.
like maybe a gold chain.
Oh yeah, he might have the gold crown, like
he's
the
wearing
thorns.
like his bitches slippers.
Oh my
You
god.
know, like, and you're like,
He's got
okay.
them Crocs on.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, all right, hell yeah, dude. You know, like rock it.
Yeah.
Or, you know, maybe he's a little more uppity about his
Yeah.
robe, and it's like tight, and it conceals,
Yeah.
you know, maybe a little flab or whatever. What's going on?
Exactly. That's another good point to bring up. It hides so much too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But does it?
Oh.
How covered is a toga? Because when I picture a toga, I picture like one kind of like sash sort of deal. I guess you could like maybe puff it out.
Well, it's only supposed to cover the left shoulder. The right shoulder is supposed to be open. So
Okay.
it's it kind of has like this open, like down, like the chest plate ish.
Okay. Like
and then it just kind of wraps down to like a glorious kilt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm all for that. And it's like, oh, if it offends you, you know, I could take it off.
You could.
You know?
And that's super simple. I don't know what's more glorious, taking off a toga or putting one on.
Man, I feel like I would almost feel like an officer putting on my uniform, you know, like wrapping it up.
Like you tighten the tie as you like strap in the strap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that seems like you start your day like that, like you're getting down to it right away.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
But then
You're here to fuck.
like yeah, absolutely.
You're here to fuck.
Absolutely. Which brings me to taking it off. You know what I mean?
Ooh.
Like, yeah, you could take it off, or you're like, I want you to take it off.
It just goes full circle, man.
Oh,
That's what
yeah.
it's the best of both worlds.
It's the only Venn diagram that is just one circle.
How does it feel saying the word toga, like as it comes out?
It's great.
It's great. Yeah, I think it has a great ring to it. I always smile after I say toga.
Mm-hmm. It's like everything you like about saying yogurt with nothing you don't like.
It's the cooler way to say gogurt, I think.
If there is.
It's togurt. That's what it is. Togurt.
Yeah.
No, it's always good. I think togas were here to make the world a better place, and then we lost it somewhere. I think as soon as the Roman Empire fell is really whenever togas went out of style.
Yeah. Was it like bad taste for a little while after there? It's like, oh, you're making fun of the Romans, like.
It had to have been a fashion
just
trend probably too. You know, like the Kim K's of the Roman Empire.
Yeah. Well, they say everything like comes back around.
Eventually.
Yeah. I wonder if it's like the farther out it is, the longer it takes to swing back.
Maybe.
In which case, we'd probably just about do.
I wouldn't see not. You know, maybe give it another couple sunsets and sunrises, and we're there.
Yeah. I mean, me and you, maybe all it takes is one brave soul.
You know what they say? Maybe it takes two brave souls, and it does take two to tango. In togarts. Which brings me up to my next point. We have to take a break real quick for sponsorship purposes. Go-gurts. Yeah. I'm going to insert something here.
Yeah.
Of like a go-gurt, I think. I have to check the copyright of go-gurts first.
Do they still exist?
I don't know. I haven't.
Have they gone the way of the toga?
I don't know. Do you think? Would you ever think that you would see a go-gurt in a toga?
That's a man that's ready.
Yeah.
That's a prepared.
That's a go-gurt that's ready to fuck.
Absolutely. It's like, no, I want you to take it off. Like, oh, all the go-gurts start falling out.
it's like, what do you need? And it's just like a bunch of go-gurts in the toga.
Like 15 flavors.
Yeah.
You're like, oh my god.
Do you think, going back to it, that there needs to be a new hierarchy with togas?
Like the color tier system again?
Just kind of anything, you know? Like
material.
Yeah. Like, if there was like a cheetah print toga?
Oh, see,
is that somebody that's
patterns?
Oh, yeah.
Patterns. That's a game changer.
Yeah, it
Absolutely.
is.
And maybe that's what's kept togas, you know, in the dust for so long.
I don't think that anybody's been brave enough to patternize a toga.
I know.
I'll go zebra. I'll do it.
Zebra, see, I like zebra because you kind of get that traditional white toga base on there. But you're like, yeah, you know, I'm maybe a little eccentric.
Yeah, I'm not, you know, I can be fun, but I also
exactly.
have business.
Yeah, it's black and white. It's not ridiculous.
It's the Billy Ray Cyrus, you know, analogy. Business in the front, party in the back. But the party's all over because we got that toga on.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Ready to get down. I think that, it's basically a done deal. We need to get togas.
Yes.
We need to wear them. but I don't think that we can wear them for like another month. We have to make it to the other side of Halloween, otherwise people aren't going to take.
You're right. They're totally going to think that we're just doing this for a Halloween bit.
Yeah.
No. We're very serious about what we're doing with togas moving forward. Do you think 2 togas is too many togas?
At once?
Yeah. Yeah. Like on the left strap and the right strap? Is that a no-no? Or is that a go-go?
No. Ooh. See, I was hesitant, but then you
Yeah.
hit me with that.
Yeah.
I'm like,
you see, that's the thing.
Who am I to
if
say?
you make it rhyme, you'll get anybody to follow you.
Yeah, and that's the
truth.
There's a message in there.
There is. If you've learned anything from this podcast, the outside viewers, is from this specific episode, disregard togas. I think we're sending a lot of great subliminal messages to the youth of America. That if you wear a toga, you're down to fuck.
Absolutely.
Yes, I think that's what we're going for.
I'm a little scared to go over 2 togas.
Yeah.
I think you start 2 borderline. You start going up like 3 togas. You're basically wearing a shirt.
Right.
You know.
I think it's kind of like doing DMT. Because once you start, you can't stop.
Is DMT addictive?
I don't know, is it? I just assume that it could be.
I don't even know.
Yeah.
I think if you did it in a toga, you're done.
Yeah.
There's no. You've peaked.
I think you've ascended. You've ascended so far ahead that you've went back to ancient Greek times.
Yeah.
So.
I think that would be like the whole DMT trip. You'd just be like,
yeah.
Leonidas. Leonidas, no.
Not the Spartans, get the oil.
Yeah.
Oh, my toga.
It's chartreuse. It's like lime green with puke, but not puke.
No, not puke. Not green puke. Before we close this out, I want to go back to your first initial thought of what this was going to be. And that is Toga Babies.
Yeah, it was Toga Babies.
I didn't mean to disappoint you immediately right off the jump of this podcast, and I want to half-heartedly apologize. Not fully, because I don't really care that much, but half-heartedly.
Well, I partially accept. But I think that it was a mistake that needed to happen.
Yeah.
Because after this whole journey that we've kind of gone on with the togas,
Yes.
I think that me and you now are Toga Babies, which is just absolutely adorable.
Wow. Do we need to I'll
We
be
have
like
a
one
thing.
part of the Venn diagram, you can be the other part. And that's a Toga Baby.
That's 2 Toga Babies as one.
1 Toga Baby plus 1 Toga Baby equals 1 Toga Baby.
That's boy math.
This is it. So, all right, Joshua. Well, I want to thank you so much for being a part of this podcast and talking to me today about togas, getting kind of your whole retrospective ideals about togas, and seeing really where you stand and sit with togas. Now, before we close out, now that we have had this glamorous, wonderful conversation, really dove into the deep dive archives of togas, you, Joshua Jackson, moving forward from this point on for the rest of your life, what is your relationship and what do you want your relationship to be with a toga?
Definitely need more in my wardrobe. Gonna change my Instagram bio to Toga Baby. And I mean, I'm just gonna start thinking twice before or whenever I see somebody in a robe. Because now I know the line between a robe and a toga is ephemeral and fleeting.
It is. There's a silver, tiny little silver line in there. Know the difference.
Absolutely.
Or
Thank
we'll
you.
come for you. Yeah, of course.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Scratch that. Well, thank you, Josh. This has been wonderful. Thank you for watching this episode of Enough for Conversation, where I hope that you have watched this and have had enough of our conversation. Stay tuned for next week until we have another guest and we talk about another word with somebody else about some other thing. Till then, toga on and become a toga baby.
He said it.
Toga baby out.
Toga Baby out.
Toga, baby.